of the series between the Mavericks and the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Nice click.
Nice, sir.
So it's going to be front court versus back court in this matchup?
Front court versus back court.
As far as what's going to – I mean, obviously Ant-Man's back court for one team. Obviously he's their best player. But, I mean, I'm just thinking Gobert and Karl-Anthony Towns against Lively and P.J. Washington. I feel like the unfair advantage goes to Timberwolves in that. Then you've got Kyrie and Luka against Ant-Man. Advantage goes to Maverick.
I think Derrick Jones Jr. is going to guard Ant-Man a lot in the series. He's a really good, really athletic guy. So I think he's going to end up playing a lot on Ant-Man and make it tough for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good series. I think it's going to go 7 games. I'm picking the Mavericks in 7. I just think Luka and Kyrie, they just have a certain chemistry right now that it's just been incredible to watch. And, they're off the court friendship, brotherhood. We remember like how we just talked about this team last year. There were so many questions. And now they're in the Western Conference Finals. They're just 2 special players. And come fourth quarter time, the game is close. Both of these teams play really good defense. Both of these teams have all NBA guys with multiple accolades on their career individually and also as a team. It's going to be a great battle. It's going to be a great battle. 2 young superstars and Anthony Edwards and Luka Doncic. This is what you asked for. This is what you want. We want to see who's going to be the next face of the NBA, and we're going to find out in this series who's going to be on their way to potentially go into the finals and possibly winning the championship. Luka's already won, overseas EuroLeague MVP, EuroLeague champion. He's already won that overseas. He got the overseas championship on lock now. He's going to try to come do this. So again, 2nd Western Conference Finals appearance in 3 years. People forget about like that. That's so. And he has a clear-cut opportunity. I think this team is better than the team that they had when they went up against Golden State. And that was a pretty solid team too, with Brunson and Dorian Finney-Smith and those guys. This team is better, obviously. And this is a clear opportunity for Luka to get to the finals and do something special for his career. So I got the series going 7, but I'm gonna go with Dallas.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I'm gonna go 7, and I'm gonna say that the Mavericks are NBA champions.
Wow, so you're picking the Mavericks to win the chip?
I think so, man. I really do. I'm buying into this. I think, man, I just really do. It's just one of them things. I feel like Luka, and I even said this before the season started, Luka came into this season and he looked more poised and ready to go. I gave some of the credit to, was it the FIBA, I think it was, beginning of the year, that they were participating in. So he came in a little more healthier, in shape, because, we heard in times past that he'd have a beer, he'd go out and eat after games and all this stuff, didn't really care, smoking cigarettes. I think the country games that were in the summer pushed into this, kept him focused on this. And like you said, like 2 of the last 3 years, he has Kyrie. The world hated Kyrie for a minute. Now they actually are in this. I think both of those guys, like you said, the chemistry that they've displayed, bringing in PJ Washington, about said Tucker, this team is ready for this, and I think are focused more than ever before. Now, I do think their biggest battle will be right now with this defensive front that they have, or front court. But the good thing is Kyrie settles for a mid shot. Luka is also loves the mid-range game as well. Of course, they're a 3-tier scorer, as we know that. They don't have to just create constantly and get to the basically to the inside the key to try to score. So, I mean, I think 7. And I just think Ant-Man's I don't want to really say one guy away. Let me back up and say this at least. For Timberwolves, Cat has to have 25 to 30 points, double-double with maybe 5 or 6 assists in this game. Like the X factor is Cat in this.
Yo, Ant-Man and A-Rod got a handshake. I just caught me off guard, bro. They just did their own handshake. Ant-Man and A-Rod. No. That was funny. But then I saw Ant-Man talking to Jamal Crawford and Reggie Miller. That was dope to see. Yeah, and I agree with you with that. It's going to be a defensive battle. Both of these teams have really good defense. Obviously, Minnesota's been a better defensive team all year. But I just see late in games, again, I think these games are going to be close, and I just trust the two guys that Dallas has in late game situations, Kyrie and Luka Doncic.
Kyrie's 7-0 in closeout games?
14-0.
14-0. Sorry, I got to double it. So, I mean, he knows how to close out games. I mean, he's been there in so many games. Even you said it, Luka is a international champion. Kyrie is obviously NBA Finals champion. The veteran with leadership weighs heavier for the Mavs in this series, I think.
Now let's look at X factors. PJ Washington for Dallas. PJ Washington, Derrick Jones Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Making Anthony Edwards work on defense. Got it. Again, crash the glass, be aggressive, be physical, rebound the ball. He could jump out the gym. Can I see 6 rebounds? 7? Is that a lot to ask for from your starter? I don't think so.
Shouldn't be.
Yeah, it should not be. Yeah, from your 7 rebounds from your small forward, should be a lot. But he's gonna be key. He's gonna be key. Josh Green, those guys off the bench, they got to play Kyle. They got to outplay Kyle Anderson, Naz Reid. They got to be able to offset what Naz Reid is able to do. Lively is going to have to be physical. Naz Reid is going to be an adjustment for Lively. Lively is going to be out in the perimeter because Naz Reid can space the floor. So Lively is going to have to be able to stay out of foul trouble, not jump on a foul shooter. Stay down. Stay down. Keep your feet down. Got to lock in. So that's going to be that's a good matchup too. Off that front court matchup off the bench between Lively and Naz Reid. That's going to be interesting to see. For Minnesota, Jaden McDaniels. They're going to, just like with PJ Washington, we know the defense is going to collapse on Ant-Man and obviously Cat. He has to be able to knock down that shot. Mike Conley, of course. If I'm looking at who's going to guard who, it's tough. I would put Jaden McDaniels on Kyrie. I'll put Jaden McDaniels on Kyrie just for the size, the ability. I think he could potentially make shots tougher for Kyrie. Kyrie can still make those shots, obviously, as we know. And then Ant-Man on Luka, it could get tricky if you see how the refs play it. If they let them play, then which I believe they should, because again, you have 2 young guys on the rise trying to get to a certain spot. Who's going to be the best in this new era? Let these guys play. And that goes for the Eastern Conference Finals as well. Let these guys play, man. We trying to see who's going to be next up. I don't want guys and the referees, altering that. No. Mm-hmm. Do your job. Let these guys hoop. Man. So, you could see Ant-Man and Luka match up. That Ant-Man plays defense. Luka's been playing defense. It's going to be a hell of a matchup, man, between those 2 guys. Who's better defensively? In that series, like I said, I put Derrick Jones Jr. on Ant-Man. PJ Washington has a tough task guarding Karl Anthony Towns. Yeah, gotta guard Karl Anthony Towns. And again, and against OKC, it was Lou Dort sometimes. It was some other situations there, but this is different. Like, you got to really defend now. That's going to be a really good matchup. 2 Kentucky guys, obviously, as you know. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun to see what happens there, because again, you can't sag off PJ Washington. And Cat's gonna have to be able to, be able to really start and recover and get back, because he can knock down that three at an efficient clip. Has to. So those are some of the matchups, defensive matchups there. Coaching wise, who do you favor? I think it's really 50-50. I mean, Jason Kidd has done a great job. Chris Finch has done a great job. Fantastic job. So to me, I think it's 50-50. It's really a toss-up between those two when it comes to the coaching standpoint. But like I said, fun matchup, competitive, but I'm going with Dallas at 7.
I agree with you on all that. You break it down where I don't even have to talk half the time. I mean, I kind of talked a little bit before you on the matchup. PJ Washington, I think, is the biggest X factor in this. What can he do defensively against Cat? And then can he still stay knocked down on the three-point side in the corner, or even get a couple easy buckets too during the rotations and schemes and stuff? Again, I think with that being said, it's crazier to me to even think out loud that Cat is the X factor for the other team when he's one of the superstars. And when an X factor is a superstar, to me, that usually indicates, hey, the other team is better than the opposing team is better. And that's why I think I'm going to 7. What you about to say?
I don't know if he's. I don't know. I think Jaden McDaniels is an X factor.
I mean, of course, but I also think like Cat has to have at 25 points every game. Has to. You can't disappear like he does.
Yeah. I would say so. Yeah, 25. Yeah, 25 definitely. I mean, honestly, both
as a minimum.
Both teams need 55 plus combined. Again, like I said for the last series. I mean,
right.
They both of them need 55 plus combined if they want to win. If you want to get 4 wins against these two teams, that's what you need from your 2 best players. And then everything else is a luxury. So
what's crazy is we have a Western Conference final here with Luka, who I think's been in the league for 6 years.
Yeah, this is year 6. Yep.
And we got Ant-Man, who's been in the league 4 years.
Yes, this is year 4. Yep.
3. Yeah, this is his 4th year. So
yep.
Young all the way around, really, if you think about it. Pacers
exactly.
And
Celtics.
Tatum.
Yes. Yep.
Passing of the torch.
Evolution.
Say. Yes.
Evolution, man. Evolution is good.
Of course, Kyrie, who is one of the superstars still with Dallas, I think he's been about 12 years, but he's still a young 12-year.
As time progresses, older guys leave, new guys step up, and this is what we're watching right now. And it's beautiful to see. You got
it really is.
You got Tatum versus Halliburton and Luka versus Ant-Man. Fresh, young series. We've never really seen this. We've never seen these series before. These are brand new series. This is perfect. This is exactly what the NBA wants. And in small markets, some of Indiana, Minnesota, and then you got Boston and Dallas. So you got a good combination of small market, big market. It's perfect. It's perfect. If you're the NBA, I mean, you're living large right now. You got a great mix. You got 4 great teams battling now to try to see who's going to be the top 2. It's great.
I'm trying to think. Man. Would you have thought these 4 would have been the Final 4 at the beginning of the year? We would have said Boston.
Boston, yes. Indiana, no. I didn't think Indiana would be able to would get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
I don't think I would say Dallas.
I said that. Listen, they would. It depends on if they lock in. I promise you, like you guys go back, but I said Luke and Kyrie have to lock in defensively, and they have, and that's why they're in the Western Conference Finals. I mean, that's a big factor. Both of those guys willingly playing defense. The film is there. You guys, the film is there for people to see them, especially Luka too. People have their questions about Luka, his defense. His defense has been great as an off-ball and on-ball defender. Incredible. And that series against OKC. Got to take it up to another level against the Minnesota Timberwolves. You want to win a chip. It's that simple. Like, it's crazy. I'm so glad you brought this up, bro. This is how Jordan and Kobe became multi-champions because they played on both ends of the court. Like, you think they just played on one end of the court and that's why they, 5-6-time champion respectively? No, they played defense. Tim Duncan, you think Tim Duncan was a cone on defense? No, he was getting 20-20 games with 3 blocks, 4 blocks. He was locked in defensively. Yep. This is why he's a 5-time champion. Kareem, same thing. Magic, Bird, all these guys, they played defense. LeBron. It's just, it's the formula is there. We've seen the formula plenty of times from one player. So, as the game evolves, as these young guys come into the league, it's going to take them a while to figure it out. And once they do, this is what we've gotten right now in the conference finals for both conferences. It's been great. It's great. Can't wait.
The only one that doesn't play defense, I would say, would be Halliburton. That's the one that has the ability, but it's more offensive. But we'll see, because it's
game 6 and 7. Game 6 and 7, he played pretty good defense. He played pretty good defense. Game 5, he was really out on the island and we was attacking him. And game 6 and 7, he was, coming out there. Even when they tried to switch out of him, he was moving his feet, slide his feet. I mean, this is what you have to do to win. Like, this is just these should be mandatory things